I normally take my camera, go walking in whichever place that I want to paint, take photographs, take lots and lots of photographs. It allows me to look at the place. It takes an unchanging image. It's like a split second of actuality. And from that split second, I can then analyze it over and over and over and over and over again. Carl Andre said, man climbs mountains because they're there, and man makes art because it's not there. What is it that excites me? It's the world around me that excites me, but it's also how you interpret the world around you that excites me. And everybody interprets it in a totally different way. I don't think anybody sets out to create a style for themselves. I think it's a natural evolution. It depends on what you want to say and how you want to say it. I couldn't imagine Van Gogh setting out to create his style. You just don't do it like that. It evolves because his personality is what he was interested in. It's his whole kind of ethos and philosophy. The way that I've evolved over the period of time that I've been painting, it's because of what I wanted to say, what I want to say, has become much more precise. I want to show people all the little detail, the intricacies of what you see on the ground, what you see through the filigree of trees, how one thing is seen in front of another thing, is seen in front of another thing. They're different surfaces, how they're different qualities of light, how they're different textures, and how you put it down on a two-dimensional plane in order to show all that complexity. Whenever I'm walking out in the landscape, I always tend to bring stuff back with me. Bits of stone, bits of grass, bits of twigs, bits of feathers. I'm intrigued by all these little things, mementos of where you've been, but natural mementos. A lot of my paintings incorporate the very, very tiny things in the landscape. It's also about the vastness of the landscape, and it's about incorporating the two things together. It's like making two paintings in one painting. Well, what I do is incorporate something which is absolutely precise and delicate with something which is almost too vast to be able to see. It's almost as though you're looking from outer space, and sometimes it's looking as though you're just a few centimetres away from the images that you're looking at. My studio is a workplace. I don't have any comfortable chairs, but there are lots and lots of things around you. It gives you something to hold on to. I collect books of landscape paintings. I've got little bits of skulls around. I've got little leaves around. I've got all the paintings that I've done, and I've got photographs hanging on the walls. So it's like a whole support system that enables you to concentrate on your work. I always try and paint a painting in a day. I've never ever succeeded. The paintings normally take several months to paint. There's a lot of drying time. There's a lot of layers that goes into it. There's a lot of mistakes that go into it. And so you can never actually say exactly how long it's going to take. All the paintings that I make are in the studio. I couldn't possibly make a painting in situ because it takes such a long time. There are so many different types of materials, so many different methods of painting that 2 or 3 seasons would have gone by. I tend to paint one surface and then I'll paint something over the top of that surface, and then that will be painted over with acrylic medium, and then there'll be another painting on the top of that which is sealed in acrylic medium, then there'll be another painting over the top of that which is sealed in acrylic medium, and it can be several layers, and you can see all the different layers and the layerings of grass, of trees, of leaves. It's not, as we assume a traditional artist paints, flat, one thing over top of another thing. You look through my paintings as much as across the paintings, and you can definitely see each individual layer and the gap between each individual layer. My work contains the drawing. I don't make drawings as such in preparation for a painting. From the early part of the 20th century, from people like Picasso of 1909, where he drew on the paintings and then painted into the paintings. For a lot of people, the drawing is incorporated into the painting. And in a sense, that's what I do. It's incredibly hard work. I make lots and lots of mistakes all the time. And then I have to correct it. You're almost finished, then you make a mistake, and you have to paint the whole thing all over again. People learn from mistakes. They don't learn from what you know you can do. Invariably, if you're trying something new, you're going to make mistakes all the time. And what I attempt to do is try and come up with different ways of interpreting space, surface, image. I'm looking for different ways of manipulating paint, different types of paint, different grounds to paint on, in order to give me just that slightly better description of what it is you're seeing. And in order to do that, you're invariably going to make lots of mistakes. I always make mistakes. I've never made a painting that I haven't made a mistake. What's important is that you finish the painting. The painting takes as long as it takes. It's like nature itself. It grows, and it matures. And you just paint it until you get it right. Like any artist, like they tell you something. And that's all I want to do, is tell people all the incredibly intricate, fascinating, extraordinary things that you see if you have the time and the inclination to just observe.